Hey, so I know we've all been caught up in a million things happening in the news lately, but I wanted to sit down with you and walk through what's been happening with Planned Parenthood. Because honestly, it's been a wild ride, and a lot of people don't even realize how fast things have moved. Okay, so in January of last year, the Trump-Vance administration takes office, and they didn't waste any time. They literally went straight to the anti-abortion group's event called March for Life, standing shoulder to shoulder with anti-abortion activists, making it crystal clear that attacking reproductive health was gonna be a priority. Fast forward to May, HR 1 gets introduced in Congress. Now, don't let the boring name fool you. This bill was packed with attacks on healthcare, but the big one, it tried to block people from using their Medicaid insurance at Planned Parenthood health centers. And here's where it gets interesting. June rolls around and people are not having it, rightfully so. Planned Parenthood organizations and allies turned out hard. Rallies in communities across the country, tens of thousands of calls and emails to Congress, people showed up. Despite the huge pushback, the Trump administration's allies in Congress forced through the bill anyway, 1 year later of defunding. Of course, Planned Parenthood sued immediately. They got a temporary restraining order, then a preliminary injunction. For 2 months, access to care was protected, but then an appeals court allowed the law to be enforced. Then, in September 2025, the first full month of the defund law was enforceable. Planned Parenthood health centers provided more than 100,000 visits for patients using Medicaid at no cost to patients. And in the days that followed, Planned Parenthood of the Rocky Mountains here in New Mexico and other surrounding states began turning away Medicaid patients across the region and canceling their appointments. Short-lived court orders briefly restored access in some places, and then on July 28th, a broader preliminary injunction paused the Medicaid ban nationwide, which protects our clinics for now. We know that the harm is the worst in rural areas and communities already facing provider shortages, because that's who these politicians always hurt the most. And I'm so sorry to keep going, but just when you thought it couldn't get worse, here comes January 2026. Anti-abortion members of Congress pledged to make this permanent. The Republican Study Committee released a framework for a 2026 reconciliation bill that would extend the defunding provision forever. Not just 1 year, forever. So here we are. The fight continues. Healthcare is more expensive and harder to get. Healthcare costs are skyrocketing. And there are so many anti-abortion or even just anti-care bills going and being introduced and passed all over the country. And by targeting Planned Parenthood, they're making the whole healthcare system worse. So what can we do? First, share this information. Knowledge is power. Let your family and your friends know what's at stake when healthcare is under political attack. Second, stay engaged because this fight isn't over. And third, remember that Planned Parenthood is not the only clinic that offers reproductive health care. There are other independent clinics in New Mexico that offer care, and you can find them at nmabortioninfo.com. Either way, we can't let up on our support and engagement with this kind of content. So keep following, commenting, and sharing, and we'll all stay informed together.